Welcome to Harmony. So excited to be joined by Sarah Fields, who is someone I discovered on social media because of her reporting and analysis of the Austin Metcalf murder by Karmelo Anthony, and in particular, her reporting and analysis of the Next Generation Action Network leader, Dominique Alexander. Sarah, I don't want to be offensive. I don't want you to get uncomfortable, but I call Dominique Alexander, I call the Next Generation Activist Negroes, is what I call it. Or what was the other thing I came up with, Luke? But I'm not a fan of Baby Al Sharpton in Texas. And that's why I love what you've been doing on social media. You've been exposing him quite a bit. So first, let me throw you an easy softball. Explain to me and explain to the audience, what is it that you actually do in Texas? Are you involved in politics in Texas? Give us a little bit of your background, and then we'll go into a conversation about Carmelo Anthony and Dominique Alexander.
Yes, sir. I first became involved in politics in Texas in 2020 during the COVID era. Mostly just as an activist because I was very much against mandates, mask mandates, and vaccine mandates. Um, and then from there became an activist for the protection of children as time went on because during legislative session in 2021 and 2022, we were desperately fighting for the ban of pediatric gender modification and drag queen story hour in public schools and drag queen shows in public for children to see. And we were fighting against all of that. And so I've just been involved with a lot of activism in Texas. Um, and then I became a precinct chair here. So I am a local elected official here in Smith County. And then I also started dabbling in journalism around the time of the legislative session to protect children, and my platform started growing. And I truly feel like God blessed it, and I just continued on with journalism from there. So wear several hats: activist, journalist, and local elected official here in my county.
Well, you forgot your most important one. You're a mom to four as well, correct?
Yeah, I am pregnant with my fourth child. Yes. So, as far as my private life, I am pregnant with my fourth child. It's my third little boy, um, which I'm really excited about. My oldest is my almost 20-year-old daughter, Jasmine, and that is another thing that I've been working on very avidly is Jasmine's Law, which is to raise the minimum sentencing to 25 years for aggravated child sex offenders in the state of Texas. And I think we're going to get it done this legislative session. I hope we are. There's other factors that weigh in on Jasmine's Law, that bill, but I started at the bottom of that as far as introducing it countywide as a resolution. It grew statewide, passed overwhelmingly by 8,000 delegates at state convention, because I'm also a state delegate. And um, after passing there, it then Jasmine's Law is now on the platform as one of the legislative uh, priorities. It's not the top priority, but it is a priority, and hopefully it passes this legislative session.
All right. Well, let's get to how I discovered you. You putting out great information on Dominique Alexander, and Dominique Alexander at the press conference, the sympathy press conference, where they nailed Carmelo Anthony somehow to the cross. He's the real victim in this murder of Austin Metcalf. And
Right.
at the end of it, or close to the end of it, Dominique Alexander, the career criminal who leads this Next Generation Action Network, Baby Al Sharpton, he's holding up social media posts that he's printed out and pointing a finger at Sarah Fields, the mother of four, the local politician, and I was
Yeah,
like, wow, she's really gotten under Dominique Alexander's skin.
definitely.
What have you done to provoke Dominique Alexander? Why are your social media posts so bothering him?
It started with me sharing the arrest report, which I find pretty wild because I requested the arrest report through an open records request to Frisco PD. And then when I shared it on social media, as soon as I received it, I read it and I posted it. All I said was arrest report for Carmelo Anthony, and it went viral. It got millions of views, and I got threats. My family was threatened. I was threatened. I was called a racist. I was called a bigot for sharing an arrest report, an official document. So that was pretty wild. And then from there, I was able, because it got so much attention, um, there were quite a few people who approached me. One specific person who was, where this all started was with a source who came to me and said, hey, I have information on the organization that they have decided to use to represent themselves, and the attorney that is connected with the organization. And this source sent me multiple links and several avenues to follow to investigate Dominique Alexander. And I shared a full thread about his background, about his organization, his fraudulent organization. And I have another good friend who works in legal areas when it comes to 501(c)s. And I asked them, hey, can you take a second look at this for me? Because I want to make sure I'm looking at this right, because it appears that they have not filed anything through the IRS in 5 years. They took a look at it and they said, yes, absolutely. This organization appears to be doing what is called 501(c) hopping, which means they're jumping from 501(c) to 501(c) anytime they get any pressure from the state or from the IRS federally to file any kind of documents or financial statements. They close it down, or it's revoked, and they start a new one. So he has shared nothing on this organization since 2020. So
The other thing,
that's what got under his skin.
yeah, that got under his skin, and now you've really gotten under his skin because you've gone in and explained, as others have, his history of criminal behavior.
Yeah.
And thank God you're doing this work, because I think it's important to. I think it says something about Carmelo Anthony's family that this is who they would choose to be the spokesman for the family. The guy
Right.
barely has command of the English language. He has a history of arrest records and criminal activity, and this fundraising that entire press conference that he held seemed like a fundraising campaign more than it had anything to do with justice. And Kyle Rittenhouse raised $2 million, and so why can't we? And it makes me, how much of that money gets funneled to Dominique Alexander? Where are they? What are they really doing here? Is this about really fighting for justice for Carmelo Anthony, or is the family trying to cash in?
I truly believe that the family and Dominique Alexander are trying to cash in. I believe that they were dishonest with the people who were donating to the Give Send Go, especially since once they reached over 400,000 on the Give Send Go, they then magically changed the description to say, oh, this isn't actually just for legal funds. This is to cover all expenses, including relocating, which I already knew they were relocating, and living expenses. They also told the judge on Monday that they were financially barely surviving. So apparently they were not doing well before, according to their own statements to the judge at the bail hearing on Monday. But they seem to be doing quite well now. Now, I truly believe that the reason Dominique Alexander has made sure that his organization has not shared any statements is um, allegedly, and based on the findings that we have come up with and my legal has looked at, it definitely appears like money laundering is what it looks like. and I have challenged him multiple times to share financial statements. And it's funny, he doesn't respond to that. He also, what's interesting is he has no problem saying that it's disrespectful and that I'm a liar, but he hasn't dispelled any of the supposed lies. He hasn't defended himself and said, actually, here's documentation, here's receipts. He's done none of that. He just says that I'm disrespectful and that I'm lying about him. He also, at that press conference, laid blame on everyone else except for Carmelo Anthony. So he laid blame on me. He also said that I was to blame for the father being there, which is a crazy statement to make. Another crazy statement to make is that he was trying to blame the school because they didn't shut down the track meet due to weather, which all evidence points to it was barely even raining that day. It was barely even sprinkling, actually, according to multiple sources, parents that I've spoken with. But it wouldn't even matter because to blame it on weather, the actions of an individual, is insanity to me.
This looks like Black Lives Matters all over again, except there is no dead black man or boy. There's a black man or boy that has committed murder, and it's
Right.
like they can turn whether you get killed or whether you do the killing, you can be the victim worthy of raising money off of and then funneling the money any direction you want to go. This seems amazing, and this seems like someone needs to be thoroughly investing Dominique Alexander and maybe even the Karmelo Anthony family. Do you have any sense of if anyone besides yourself is really taking a strong look at either group, Dominique Alexander or the Anthonys?
I don't know that anyone's really taking a strong look at the Anthonys. I do think that it speaks very loudly the fact that they brought in this organization and all this evidence has come to light about Dominique's past, and they still continue to use him as an advocate. Tells me that they are okay with the race baiting and they are okay with the threats and everything that has happened since then, and in Dominique Alexander's past. They've said nothing or done nothing to condemn that. I don't see anyone truly looking into the Anthony family other than myself. Unfortunately, I do see a lot of mainstream media now looking into Dominique Alexander's criminal past. That's being posted everywhere. Thank goodness. I'm grateful for that. Everyone needs to know what kind of man he is. But I don't see a lot. What I don't see a lot of is people investigating his organization, and that's what I really think needs to happen. His entire organization needs to be placed under investigation. I also think that it would be wise for the judge to place a gag order on Dominique Alexander because nothing he has said so far has helped anyone. In fact, I don't even think it's helping the Anthony family at this point. So that's what I think needs to happen.
Well, if you could, and I know you don't have all your notes with you, but could you go over one, two, or three of the most serious allegations from Dominique Alexander's past?
Um, it is only two or three. um, One of the most disturbing things to me, obviously, is his abusive past. It really speaks on the character of a man. I have been in an abusive relationship before. And he not once but twice domestically abused his girlfriend. Um, and he's also injured a child, a 2-year-old child. It takes a very horrible, special kind of person to harm a child like that and then lie about it because he did. He lied about it, said that the child fell off the couch or something like that, but permanently damaged that child. It's pretty awful. Another thing that I have serious concerns about is that Dominique Alexander's past with activism is very violent. He has gotten into multiple physical fights. He's very aggressive, and he does it on purpose. And he's also known for harassing people, and he's known for going to people's homes. I think if you look on my social media, I've posted multiple videos actually where he has gone to elected officials' homes and taunted them for hours at a time. There's nothing good that can come from that kind of behavior. And then there was one more thing. I was trying to think of what it was.
Let me ask you this question. We don't need. Are you concerned about your own safety?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Not just since the arrest report, which it was pretty bad after I got put that out there, but since he named me specifically, he targeted me specifically in his press conference, I have had death threats on me, and they're coming from BLM and Antifa. And I've been doxxed. My address has been shared multiple times. They've come after my children. They have multiple people have not just sent me messages, but have even put publicly online my address, my church's address, pictures of my home, pictures of my church, and several people have shared photos of my children and have talked about wanting to figure out where my older son goes to school, which is all malicious. And so I have actually had to have a security team come watch my home. I've gone on lockdown. It's not that I can't, but for safety's sake, I have not gone anywhere but required meetings and church. For Easter, I went to church, and thankfully my church is aware of this situation, and they have assigned a safety team to me as well. They walk us to and from the vehicle, and they watch us while we are in church.
Any thought of backing down and walking away from talking about Carmelo Anthony's family or Dominique Alexander?
No, absolutely not. Truth is truth, and we need to be unafraid to speak it. That's the bottom line. I'm not going to, it is a scary situation, but I'm not going to live in fear. So no.
Well, Sarah, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. We appreciate you. We support you. I will pray for you and your family. You're doing really brave work. Man, what a courageous woman you are. Thank you so much. And thank you for making the time.
How did we end up so divided? Stop fighting and stand tall. We used to be a nation, one united.